Alright, this is just a disclaimer for the video from after I've edited it. I talk about working out for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 minutes, and then I start actually talking about, like, when I was red-pilled and my past and everything like that. So I'll put a timestamp, maybe on the screen or in the comments, so you can just skip to that. Shut your fucking mouth! Alright, guys. See that? That's a guitar pick. I play guitar. On some romantic shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I just playing. Tonight, I did some workouts, hit them triceps, you know what I'm saying? Alright. No, I did some overhead extensions, I did some, what do you call that shit? Skull crushers, you know? What I do to the blood of my enemies. I injured my arm, and I had to take about 2 weeks off. And then I just tried tonight, and I still felt it, so I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to go light. I had to do 10 pounds. I don't know, I'm just making a video just to make a video. But, this is my arms right now. That's my arms right now. I'll put up some pictures, too, of, you know, like, after I've worked out and everything, and I'm all swole, you know what I'm saying? Like, swole up like a motherfucker. Hey, you know about that, bro. But, funny story. The other night, I was on the phone with this kid. This is my best friend's neighbor. And we're on Instagram. And he's texting this guy. And I don't know this guy. He's like a friend of a friend of a friend for me. But he's texting him, and he's just trolling him. He just followed him. You know, they have mutuals, whatever. The guy was unfazed. But then this kid, he takes my pictures of me flexing, and he sends it to the guy. He sends my arms, and the guy just starts roasting me. He's just like, yeah, man, you got pool noodle arms. Your arms are tiny, all this. And I was like, I ain't trying to see all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not in a state to be like, I have body dysmorphia. Because, like, I'm fit and everything, and there's people who are in worse positions. I have a fast metabolism, so I'm real skinny, but everything on my body is just muscle. So, like, I'm skinny, there's no fat. It's just muscle. I was like, man, and that's actually what got me started. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna break whatever I injured my arms. But I was halfway. I think there was a part of me deep down where I was like, I don't really want to start back. I work out from home, by the way, because for those of you who don't know, I'm homeschooled. I go to a VOTEC, which is a public thing, where it's like basically kind of like a skills, like where it's like trade skills. So I'm in like a construction class, so I'm around like public schoolers and shit like that. But I had to work out from home and everything. And anybody who works out from home, you know it's a lot harder to stay disciplined when it's just something about being in a room and it's just you and your weights. I've been working out for about 3 years. It's just been on and off. And, shit, it's really hard for me to gain weight. It's really hard. I'll be trying to go on a bulk, and bulking is so aggravating for me because, like, I'll be eating myself sick and I'll manage to lose weight. I remember I lost like 5 pounds and I was bulking. I was like, what the I get on the scale, I was like, come on. So, I mean, my dad told me when he was 18 and he was in the army, he was like 130. Anyways, I mean, it got me started back on the grind, you know, on that Sigma grind set mindset. Went to the library today, got me some books. I'm like a bookworm. Books and coffee, that's all I really need. Like, most kids nowadays, they just look at their phones and all that. But like me, nah, I like to curl up and read a book, you know? I like to be productive. So, there's struggles to being homeschooled. When you're homeschooled, I used to go to this group, and it's like, they built it over the years, so there wasn't a lot of people when it started, but then there got up to like 100 families. It was all homeschoolers. And these motherfuckers are cringe, bro. I'm telling you, they're terrible. And they're haters. They start acting like public schoolers when they get together. Like, you get enough of them together for long enough, it becomes like everybody forms their little cliques and everything. And they're all losers. They're all like the definition of, and they're really chopped. I don't talk about people being chopped because that's a rude thing to say, but if I'm talking about some people I don't like right now, and they be hating like motherfuckers, and I'm telling, they be hating like there ain't no tomorrow. They're just sad people. They, here's the thing. When I had a buzz cut, I was red-pilled. I was like this loser kid who, there's nothing wrong with watching anime, but I used to just sit in my bed all day and watch anime. This was when I was like 12, or I think I was like getting close. No, I was like 13. When I was 12, I was like a pretty boy. I had this terrible haircut, but I was like a, daddy. Like, I thought that was so funny, bro, when I used to like do the moaning sounds and shit like that. Then I got a buzz cut. It was because I became red-pilled. So I see this video of Andrew Tate, and he's talking about something. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. So then I start diving in him, and then I just became this fanboy for Andrew Tate. I just sat around all day watching Andrew Tate videos like, top G, top G, top G. And that's why I got a buzz cut. And I didn't realize it, but I was so chopped. I was so chopped. It was insane. And because I was consuming all this stuff, I was a complete jackass. I used to do this, I used to just be rude to people. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that. I used to just be rude to people because I was, like, asserting my dominance. I also used to, you know, of course, simping is a thing, and then when you have simps, then you're gonna have girls who are gonna become, like, these, like, narcissists, or I don't know if narcissist is the word. It's like they're really big egos because they've got all these guys just constantly simping for them and everything. And that's a real thing. But I was like, I'm not going to be a simp. Like, I used to ask people when I started being friends with them, I was like, are you a simp? Because I can't be friends with you if you're a simp. And I used to, no, I'm not even joking. I used to just be rude to girls. Like, I used to be like, they would say something to me, like, maybe just picking on me. Whatever, they're just picking on me. And I would say something just rude to them. Like, I thought I was so tough. And then all these girls would be staring at me like, and I thought they were like intimidated by my aura. And so I was like, ugh. And I felt like I was like on top of the world or some shit. But I probably look like a creep. I'm serious. I looked terrible. I used to go, see, I went from being this, like, little pretty boy when I was, like, 12 to being terribly, I was chopped then, but I became terribly chopped. Terribly. When I had a buzz cut. And I also, you know, I started getting all these pimples on my face and all this. So I just had this, I have a big-ass forehead. I'll give you, alright, so I just cut that part of the video out in my editing, but I'll put a picture there, because I'm not giving you a raw, raw. But anyways, so basically I went from being able to get girls to girls, like, avoiding me like I was the plague. Of course, it was a combination. I was annoying, and I was chopped, and I was so loud. I was so obnoxious. That big of a switch, of course, I became depressed. And the thing is, now, I'm happier now, but the thing is, when I seemed like I was the happiest, like when I was always being so loud and laughing, that was when I was the most depressed. People used to tell me I need to grow my hair back out, and I was like, whatever. And then I remember this kid telling me, get the buzz, lose the huzz, and I don't think that's true for everyone, but that was absolutely true for me. And I started growing my hair back out. Girls started talking to me again. Another thing I want to say is, I want to say this, but YouTube's sensitive guidelines will try to strike me down. What got me out of being red-pilled, so red-pilled, was actually, where it started, I was Andrew Tate for Halloween. My mom had bought me, like, these cheap cigars that I walked around with, and I felt so tough, I'm telling you. I thought I was, like, I'm the top G, because I used to go around doing this Andrew Tate impersonation, like, what color is your Bugatti? I'm Andrew Tate, I'm the top G. I used to, like, I used to go around doing these impressions, because I thought I was, like, so good at it. So I was him for Halloween. When I came home from Halloween that night, my dad was talking about, oh yeah, it's kind of weird how he's, like, your role model. And I was like, he's not my role model. I don't know. My mom was like, there's nothing wrong with the guy. He's just, if he's his role model, there's not really a problem with him. And then Dad said, he started talking about how Andrew Tate had a webcam business. He used to have a webcam business where he was scamming people or whatever. And I was like, what? And so I go do my own research, and I was pissed. I felt like it was like a betrayal. Like, you know that GIF you see from The Incredibles where the guy knocks the Mr. Incredible poster down or whatever? He's like, that's what I felt like. And because the thing about Andrew Tate, he has all these messages like, oh yeah, I help people make money, I help people quit watching porn and all this. And then I see this and I'm like, that completely goes against everything he ever said. And so that got me hating him. And then the Vinland Saga memes come around and stuff like, I have no enemies. And I was like, yeah, these messages, these are good messages. And this was when I started buzz cut and everything. So then I got out of that mindset. I started being a better person then. And then I grew my hair out. I wasn't obnoxious. And I wasn't chopped. And everything turned back to normal. But I was talking to the librarian about this today, about how you really should you need to just be nice to everybody, just be kind to everyone, because people don't realize how much that means to somebody. I mean, I experienced it firsthand. I remember I was at the Votech one day, and this kid in my class, they used to do this thing called, my teacher does not care about what we do. So they're out in the shop, and they would go out there, and they would put a piece of wood on a table, and they would all take turns with the hammer. They called it hammer time. They go in there at the end of class and just bam, 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 each one of them. And I didn't join in just because when I stood there, it just felt like I wasn't invited. And that year, like my first year of going to the Votech, it was like I was the homeschooler, and I was still kind of cringe and stuff. So I was kind of the outlier. So I was like, if they're not inviting me, I'm not going to try to like be part of it. Like, oh, hey guys, can I play too? You know? And then I'm sitting in the chair looking at my phone, playing a game on my phone, and they put their stuff away, and this kid comes up to me, and he sits down in his chair, and he starts looking at his phone too, and he says, Zeb, why didn't you join in on the fun? And that was all he said. He didn't even look up, he was just looking at his phone, and I was sitting there looking at my phone, and I started to tear up. I had to look at the ceiling, like, because the fact that that time I felt like nobody was there, like nobody cared, and the fact that he actually thought that, like he was kind of inviting me, like why weren't you there? You know, we're having fun over there. That really did mean something to me, and you really don't know what people are going through, so you just need to be a good person to everybody. You don't know, like people don't realize how much it means to people to be a good person, to be nice to people. Even just smiling, you know, where I live, like out in the South where I live, you pass by somebody's car, everybody just waves at each other. You see each other in a store, if you make eye contact, you smile and you say, hey, how's it going, whatever, and then you move on, that's it. It's just, I mean, it's a Southern hospitality, but it really does mean stuff to people, so y'all remember that. Anyways, I guess that's my message. This is probably the first time I've sat down and just like talked to the camera without zoning out 100 times and having to clip a 20-minute video into like a 5-minute one. But that's all I have to say. Peace.